Is the new global economic crisis coming? That's a question. I think we are headed, but this is not new. I'm Saskia Sassen. I'm a professor at Columbia University. Many of the crises that we have experienced have tended to be partial. They don't devastate. It's not like World War I or World War II, where a whole area was simply devastated, a country devastated. These are very particular crises. The problem is that they get a lot of attention because the crises are often about very powerful sectors. High finance, given its extraordinary innovative character, is often involved in crises, partly because it is so innovative. Look at the Facebooks, very innovative. It's also now involved in several crises. It started healthy, fine, etc., and now it has several, not just one type of crisis going. So there is something about highly innovative, very powerful, and very successful sectors that brings with it, I'm not saying all of them, but many of them, brings with it a kind of crisis. The problem for me is that that crisis begins to involve more and more sectors. Then we're dealing about a crisis that affects all kinds of actors, people, small firms, shops, that were not part of the initial project, but they sort of get involved in it. Secondly, we sort of lose control a bit over the language of crises. Why? Because when Facebook has a crisis, when the financial system has a crisis, the sense is we are in crisis. Whereas a lot of sectors might actually not be in crisis. But the language of crisis is truly ascendant, and I think it often lacks the specificity that we need in order to understand how we can address it. The city is a complex but incomplete system. And in that mix of complexity and incompleteness lies the capacity of a city. And if you think Dubai is a kind of amazing city. So this notion that you are mixing complexity with openness or incompleteness is extremely important. Why? Because the city is also the space where those without power, those who are not rich, can actually make a history, can make a local economy. One interesting issue is how many companies that are now dominant actors are actually not going to be around in a few decades or in a decade. And that then comes with a second question, which is, was it always that way? Or let's say in the last 150 years? Or is there a particular kind of velocity that has invaded or that has taken over some of these very advanced sectors? Today, everything moves so fast that we experience it as crisis. And one question we need to ask is this a crisis, or is this a mode in which our modernity has accelerated the lives of healthy sectors?